What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and this time it's a little bit different. I'm doing a little bit different type of video here. Today I'm going to be ranking which superstars have what probability of facing John Cena before he retires. Now, let me kind of explain what's going down. We're splitting it into 3 stages, okay? Each superstar gets a number out of 3, and whatever number they get is their chance of facing John Cena, with 1 being the highest chance, like a 99% chance they're facing John Cena, barring an injury or some other type of horrible instance. Number 2 is a 50-50. It depends on the superstar schedule, depends on if John Cena adds more dates, it depends on if the stories line up. And number 3 is no chance in hell. Okay. That being said, let's get right into it. Starting with our first superstar, we got AJ Styles, who I have as a win. I 100% see AJ Styles facing John Cena down the line. They have amazing history and chemistry together in the ring that I do not want to see go to waste, and I would love to see one last time. Akira Tozawa, I'm going to put as 3. He's a jobber. I don't see it happening. Aleister Black, I also put as a 3. Now, while I love to see the match and the 2 face off, I can't see any world where Aleister Black and his story lines up with John Cena in the slightest. I just don't. So I'm going to put Aleister Black as a 3. Alex Shelley we also have as a 3. He's part of a tag team, Motor City Machine Guns. He's sticking as a tag team. Andrade I also put as a 3. Again, I love to see him face John Cena, but I just don't see their schedules lining up at all. Angel I put as 3. Angelo Dawkins, who's also part of a tag team, I put as 3 as well. Apollo Crews, we haven't seen that motherfucker in ages. I'm putting him in as a 3. Austin Theory, I'd love to see him rematch John Cena and John Cena gets his revenge, but like, I don't see it. You know, Austin Theory, he's not even on TV anymore. He's wrestling on Main Event on Raw. So I'm going with 3 for Austin Theory, unfortunately. Axiom, no, he's part of a tag team. Berto's also part of a tag team. I'm putting him as 3. Brock Lesnar, I actually have as a 2, okay? So Brock Lesnar internally is still listed as part of the WWE roster. He's still under contract, and look, if Brock Lesnar does return in some way, shape, or form before the year ends, John Cena and Brock Lesnar are bound to meet up at some point, okay? Barring the fact that Brock Lesnar doesn't return, I see Brock Lesnar and John Cena facing off one last time. They had a nice couple of matches together as well, so they have that history, which John Cena loves during this retirement tour, facing people who he has history with. And, you know, Brock Lesnar's that perfect guy, right? But again, this is all depends on if he does return because of, you know, what's going on right now. So I'm putting Brock Lesnar as a 2. Next up, we got Braun Breaker, the future of the industry, who I'm putting as 1, okay? He showed up and showed out in that gauntlet match over on Raw, and WWE are pushing him. I could see him winning multiple world championships, multiple mid-card championships, multiple tag team championships, anything and everything, you name it, he's going to win it. And I think the perfect passing of the torch moment is if Braun Breaker is the one to retire John Cena, or at least face him and win at some point down the line. Like Braun Breaker, if you give me any of the young guys, okay, on the main roster, Braun Breaker is the guy that I feel like has the most chance to face and beat John Cena during this retirement runs. Next up, we got Bronson Reed. I don't see it happening. I'm going with 3. Brutus Creed, he's a tag team. I'm going with 3. Carmelo Hayes, I actually have a 2. It honestly depends on if WWE sees something in Carmelo Hayes, because right now, even though he was a round 1 draft pick, he hasn't done anything since, okay? And he's not even on TV anymore. So this really depends on if WWE see Carmelo Hayes as a guy that is worthy of facing John Cena during this retirement run. Like, you could tell what WWE's superstars are favorited over others. Example A being Braun Breaker over Carmelo Hayes, you know? Braun Breaker shown as this beast every single week. Carmelo Hayes, he's still shown as a good developing superstar, but he's just not shown consistently enough to kind of prove that. So because of that, I'm putting Carmelo Hayes as a 2. I'd love to see it personally, though. Next up, we got Chad Gable, who's unfortunately injured. I have him at 3. I would have had him at 2, but again, he's injured. Chris Sabin I have as a 3 as well. CM Punk I have as a 3. CM Punk and John Cena face off already at Night of Champions. I don't see a world where John Cena and CM Punk face off again. I mean, it was advertised as the very last time these two face off, and I believe it. So because of that, I could still see CM Punk involved in John Cena's story down the line. I just don't see them facing off one-on-one ever again. Cody Rhodes is literally confirmed. He won King of the Ring. He's facing John Cena at SummerSlam. I have him as 1. Cruz del Toro, 3. Damian Priest, although I'd love to see it, I don't see it happening. Damian Priest is currently involved in a storyline with Aleister Black, which could span multiple months. And I have a feeling there's just way better superstars that John Cena could be facing over Damian Priest, who's also pretty old. So him facing John Cena isn't really putting him over because he's already pretty over with the crowd as well. So Dexter Lumis, he's part of the Wyatt Six. He's doing well for himself. He got the WWE Tag Team Championships around his waist. He's chill without John Cena. I'm going with 3. Dominic Mysterio, I could see him facing John Cena in a squash match of sorts down the line, but at the same time, there's a great possibility that Dominic Mysterio and John Cena don't interact at all. So I'm going to put Dominic Mysterio at 2. Dragon Lee, he's the future of the industry, or at least that's what Triple H says, but I don't see him in the future facing John Cena. So I got him at 3. Drew McIntyre is quite literally The Rock's chosen one, and once John Cena turns face and betrays The Rock, I could see The Rock sending Drew McIntyre right after John Cena and having him face off against John Cena. So because of that, I actually have Drew McIntyre at 1. El Grande Americano, he's back on TV. He had an injury for a week or so, but he's back. I still don't see him facing John Cena personally. Elton Prince, tag team, he's on a 3. Eric Rowan, he's also a 3. He's part of the Wyatt Six. Eric is part of the Viking Raiders, and he's also a 3. Finn Balor, I would love to see it, but the way Finn Balor's been booked and the fact that he's involved in so many storylines already makes me believe that Finn Balor's not facing John Cena. So I'm going to go with 3. Grayson Waller, part of A-Town Down Under, he's going with 3. Gunther, I 100% see Gunther facing John Cena down the line, okay? A lot of people want Gunther to face John Cena for his retirement match. Personally, I'd like to see Gunther face John Cena before that because I have a way better opponent for John Cena for his retirement match, not including Braun Breaker, which I'll get into a little later on, but Gunther, nah, I love to see him face Gunther, and I think he will. I put Gunther as a 1, but I don't like to see him as the retirement match. Next up, we got Ilya Dragunov, and honestly, he's injured right now, but if he does return this year, I see a world genuinely where Dragunov does face off against John Cena, maybe in an open challenge type of match or something of that nature, not a storyline match. And depending on the injury, and depending on if John Cena adds more dates or, you know, does an open challenge, I'm going to go with 2. Ivar, part of the Viking Raiders as well. I'm going with 3. Jacob Fatu, now he's been pushed heavily on SmackDown, which, funnily enough, is where John Cena is pushed heavily as a heel on SmackDown, but I don't see their stories lining up. Although it is possible because of the fact that Jacob Fatu is so popular with the crowd and he's such a good and fabulous face. He is in a storyline with Solo Sikoa right now, which is why I put him as 2. But if he does finish the storyline with Solo Sikoa, there's a very strong possibility that he faces John Cena. So I'm going to go with 2. JD McDonough, he's a 3. He's part of the Judgment Day. Jey Uso, they teased it a little bit, which is why I'm going with 2. I personally would not like to see that. I don't really see a way of that happening either, considering Jey Uso is no longer World Heavyweight Champion, but you never know, so I'm going to go with 2. Jimmy Uso, on the other hand, his brother, is a 3. Joe Quinn Wild, I'm going to go with a 3 as well, part of the tag team. Joe Gacy, he's part of the Wyatt Six, doing well for himself. I'm going to go with 3. Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, he's a 3, part of DIY right there. Same with Julius Creed, he's a 3, he's part of the tag team. Karrion Kross, he's been getting a push on Raw, but I don't see him getting pushed enough to face John Cena, so I'm going to go with 3. Kevin Owens, I would honestly say very, very low 2. But because of the fact that he's injured, I'm going to go with 3. Kit Wilson, tag team, I'm going to go with 3. Kofi Kingston, nah, I see him going at 3 as well, part of the New Day. They're after the World Tag Team Championships. LA Knight, I would love to see it. They kind of set it up already with the fact that LA Knight and John Cena teamed up at Fastlane, but like just based on everything that's going on right now and the fact that LA Knight might be moved to Raw in the near future, I don't see him facing John Cena, unfortunately, although I would love to see that one. Logan Paul, I actually have at 1. Now, I know a lot of you are probably throwing up your pitchforks and torches right now, but let me explain, okay? John Cena and Logan Paul had a falling out as a tag team. John Cena and Logan Paul kind of hate each other now. So they set that storyline up already perfectly. They just didn't execute it yet for some reason. So I see Logan Paul and John Cena facing off at some point. Next up, we got Ludwig Kaiser. I'm going to go with 3. I mean, that guy hasn't been on TV in ages. Montez Ford, he's a 3. He's on the Street Profits. Nathan Frazier, same reason, he's on Fraxium, so that's a 3. Omos, I would be interested in that match, but he's never on TV, so I'm going to go with 3. Same with Otis. Otis is a 3 as well. Pat McAfee, he's not even on commentary anymore, so I'm going to go with 3. Penta is another one that's been pushed heavily as a babyface, but I just don't see a world where his and John Cena's line up whatsoever, especially because Penta's on Raw, John Cena's on SmackDown. So even if John Cena does do an open challenge, it wouldn't make much sense if Penta was the one to enter it. Although I wouldn't be mad if it does, and there's still a possibility that Penta does go to SmackDown at some point. So I'm going to go with 2. Pete Dunne, I'm going to go with 3. R-Truth, he's faced John Cena the most out of anyone on his retirement tour. Believe it or not, if you were to tell me that in the beginning, I would have said you're absolutely freaking crazy. But here we are. But I don't see R-Truth facing John Cena again, at least in a one-on-one match, so I'm going to go with 3. Randy Orton, kind of the same reason as R-Truth and CM Punk. John Cena already faced Randy Orton at Backlash in an amazing end to the rivalry. I don't see them facing off, at least in a one-on-one scenario, again. So I'm going to go with 3. Rey Fenix is a 3. He is in a tag team with Andrade. And even then, you know, he's not really showcased much at this point. Rey Mysterio, now, I put him as a 3, unfortunately. I know these two had a great couple of matches together back in the day, but I just don't see Rey Mysterio healing up in time. And even if he does, I don't see him as the top guy to face John Cena next. So I'm going to go with 3. Roman Reigns, honestly, just because of the fact that he is filming a movie that could take a couple of months after SummerSlam, I'm going to put him as a 2. Again, it all depends on if Roman Reigns' schedule allows it, because he is filming a movie for a couple of months. So that's going to take a lot of time off John Cena's retirement tour. And by the time Roman Reigns comes back, John Cena could already be retired. I 100% see that happening, but it just depends on if Roman Reigns finishes filming in time. Rusev, these two, I love their rivalry back in the day over the United States Championship, although I just don't see it happening during this retirement tour. Especially considering Rusev, again, is on Raw, Cena's on SmackDown, but I'm putting Rusev as a 2 just for the fact that he could enter an open challenge in some way, shape, or form, because, again, this is John Cena picking his opponents here, okay? It's kind of been made clear that John Cena picks who he wants to face, and I could see him wanting to face Rusev again, so for that reason, I'm going to go with 2. Sami Zayn, I have at a 3. I don't see him really intertwining with John Cena in the slightest. Same with Santos Escobar. I don't see it. For Seth Rollins, that's a very interesting one. Now, if you were to tell me before Saturday night's main event, I would have said an absolute 100% 1. But because of the fact that Seth Rollins is now injured and we don't know the timeline or the timetable for the injury, I'm going to go with 2 because it depends on when he gets back from injury. Next up, we got Shane McMahon, who's listed still in the roster for some reason. I'm going to go with 3. Sheamus, another throwback to back in the day. If John Cena wants to fight Sheamus, he'll fight Sheamus, right? So for that reason, I'm going to go with 2. Shinsuke Nakamura, I don't see it. He's going to go with 3. I feel like he's going to retire soon, honestly. Solo Sikoa, I also have as a 3. I don't see him facing John Cena at all. Tama Tonga, I'm going to go with 3 as well. He's part of the New Bloodline at this point, and he's injured. The Miz, I honestly have at 2. He's another one of those throwback wrestlers that John Cena probably does want to face at some point. But because of the fact that The Miz is filming American Gladiators at the moment, and we don't know when he's going to be back, I'm going to put him as 2. And now, here's a guy that I want John Cena to face for his retirement match, and that guy being The Rock, okay? I put The Rock as 2 just for the fact that we don't know how busy The Rock is, what his filming schedule is, if he wants to return. So barring all of that, I would love to see John Cena face The Rock in his retirement match to kind of put that storyline to bed of John Cena betraying The Rock at some point probably. So yeah, I put Rock as 2. Tommaso Ciampa I put as 3. Same with Tonga Loa and Tyler Bate. They're both at 3. Uncle Howdy, I would love to see it, and I probably would have loved to see it more if it was Bray Wyatt, because John Cena and Bray Wyatt do have history, but because of the fact that, you know, Wyatt's no longer with us, unfortunately, and the fact that Uncle Howdy is not really a guy I see John Cena fighting, I'm going to go with 3. And finally, we have Xavier Woods, who I have at 3 as well. Anyways, that's the entire video. If you guys enjoyed and like to see some more content like this, please let me know in the comments down below. Also subscribe, like, and let me know if you have any other video ideas you'd love to see me do, because I'd happily do them, okay? I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.